What is up, everybody? This is Attack the Talk. I'm your host, AJ. Here we are, guys, on another Attack the Talk Tuesday, streaming live on Twitch. For anybody that's interested and is catching us over a later time, don't be afraid to go ahead and join us on Tuesdays on Twitch, where we stream at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if there's any changes, of course, to that, follow us over on Instagram, and you guys will be able to get updated as far as when we will be streaming. But we are here, and joining, of course, is our good friend Jacob. Jacob is here live in chat, and joining me in person, of course, is the great Lexi. What's up, Lex?
I control that sound.
Yeah.
Hi.
Not with us again this week is Zach Attack, but I can tell you, I talked to Zach yesterday, and Zach is feeling better, but not 100% yet. But he said
he's
he
definitely
told
not
me
ready to voice no Reiner yet.
he told me that he will be back next week. That is the goal, and that is the plan. He says that I miss you guys, and I will most definitely be back. Yeah.
We continue to wish him well.
So yeah, exactly. But here we are, guys, again, another episode where we cover and we break down and we analyze and we discuss each of the Attack on Titan episodes. Isn't it crazy? My goodness gracious. Season 4. We are on episode 3. This will be, let me just confirm, part 3. My goodness gracious. This will be part 3 of our episode breakdown discussion. The crazy part about this is that as I was going and doing the notes and everything, preparing for this podcast, I was like, you know what? This episode's only going to be in 3 parts. Then as I was literally doing the note taking, I was like, there's so much to cover and there's still so much like left in the episode. I'm like, I have to split this into...
Season 4 is juicy with
Season 4?
Details and the hints and the parallels. And I mean, also, we've already seen a full 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, so there is a lot to call back to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the thing is, too, is that like with a lot of the seasons as they start, we get introduced to so much. We literally, season 4 just get introduced to a whole new world, whole new characters, and now we're at the point in the story where we're kind of like going backwards, and now we're kind of like learning more details. We're learning more about the story that is Marley and how those characters that we were very familiar with early on, like those traitors that we come to go ahead and hate, what their kind of upbringing like in their childhood, or if you want to call it that, was like. And essentially it was their training to become warriors. And so we're kind of deep in that rabbit hole of just learning about those children becoming titans, which is crazy to say. But there's just so much to cover. Like, they bounce between different parts of the past. They bounce between the present. It's just, again, about giving us that context as to really this is a story that is primarily focusing over on Reiner. And it's really to have us, the viewers, right, the fans, to really go ahead and learn about Reiner as to why he is what he is, because that's been the question for pretty much season 1 through 3, is that Reiner is just this character that has so many different variations of himself over in his mind, and we need to understand why Lexi is so blurry.
I know. I'm like trying to you can see my disappointed face.
You know what I realized which is why I even have to go ahead and tilt my cap a little bit.
It's the hat.
It's sometimes the hat goes out there and provides that kind of shade and whatnot. And so when it goes out and blocks out,
guys, I have hat hair from work today.
When it blocks out the the eyes a little bit, dims it, that autofocus has to go ahead and kind of
oh God.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy.
Come to me.
So yeah, if you can, just see, we miss Zach for a lot of reasons, but this is another reason why we miss Zach.
I need him to be close to the camera to
so like if Zach was here, Zach would be able to go ahead and kind of just like adjust and oh, maybe it was
perhaps it's the headphones.
The
moment I took them off, it was like, oh, there you are.
Yeah. Real quick, Jacob says, I seen a fan-made picture of Eren and Zeke and Zoro was in the background. Dang.
Oh, he's getting lost.
Dang.
He got lost.
It says Tokyo Ghoul needs a proper anime adaptation. I mean, I think that what Tokyo Ghoul did, was it brought us an interesting story, and a story that, you know, for a couple of those seasons I really much enjoyed. You know, I appreciated, and I appreciated Tokyo Ghoul more when I went back and rewatched. So you have to really kind of go out there and experience it, and then if you really care to learn about Tokyo Ghoul, you go ahead and you just take in the content again, and then you're gonna be like, whoa, I'm seeing things literally so much different. And I mean, the same can be said about really anything, like even Attack on Titan.
Hindsight 2020.
Attack on Titan's still great when you watch it the first time. Heisei means then the manga. Yeah, I heard that. That's what Lexia's, explained to me too. That it's just so different. But hey,
yeah, I heard that.
What you gonna do?
Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul was like not like the manga at all. Allegedly.
Yeah, which is so weird because I liked season 1. But anyways,
Like, let's just make that one an anime.
yeah. But yeah. So again, we're trying to go ahead and understand Reiner more, right?
Yes.
And that's really what it is. We've been learning about Reiner's kind of upbringing, his lifestyle, learning about his motivation, and now his determination to go ahead and become this leader. And we kind of got an interesting line last week when he talked about how Reiner is dead. Essentially, if I need to be Marcel, then I'll be Marcel.
Then I'll be.
It's just him kind of now taking on that role, maybe feeling a little bit guilt because, Marcel, this leader of these warriors throughout their training, Marcel sacrificed himself so that he can go ahead and save Reiner. Now, maybe it is a burden on Reiner now that he put upon himself to go ahead and carry out this mission, because we understand that, like, Annie did not want to go ahead and participate in this mission anymore. She's like, we need to go ahead and go back. And then Reiner really took it upon himself to just really instill into his comrades, Annie and Bertolt, that we can't go back. So we're going to find out really how Reiner really embraces that leadership ability, and we wanted to learn and to understand and find out from you guys if Reiner really is a good leader, at least when it comes to parody. And we're going to find out that as we have a Q&A question, which we asked, and also a poll question. The Q&A really ties into, as I mentioned, Marcel and that sacrifice, and I'm excited to go ahead and see what you guys really thought about Marcel and his decision making. But yeah,
I love a good Q&A.
Yeah.
I like hearing your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. Jacob says Reiner is awesome, and Reiner definitely is awesome. And as a matter of fact, for people who've gone on to go ahead and do some research and find out who the creator of Mystery Sayama's favorite character is, and I believe it is Reiner. And Reiner is a very layered character. So Reiner is, yes, he is our onion.
He's our onion.
He's our onion, and you know what? I have to admit, not a fan of onions. Not at all.
Depends on the onion.
I guess so.
Depends on the ratio of the onion.
There's a lot that has to do with
okay, it's back. Sorry, guys, I crashed out for a second.
Onion talk, all of a sudden just like,
I know. It was the head banging, my bad.
Yeah,
it's the Death Note second opening. How can
what
you
it is. How can you not go out there and just really feel just the energy coursing through your blood, through your spirit, through your Shinigami, if you have one. If not, then, you would never even know. So Akira is awesome. I love just the moral compass that Jacob has.
I know.
I love it so much.
It's like, these people are all so cool. But also, your favorite character in anime are always the villains.
Yeah,
so.
the villains are always so interesting, are they? Are they not? And speaking of interesting characters in Attack on Titan, we go ahead and we see another familiar face, a character that we have kind of maybe perhaps missed. And remember I told you about this weird thing that I had in my brain where I was like, I have this feeling that like Annie was in the underground. Well, it turns out that she was.
Yeah.
And we also asked last week too about where was Annie throughout the whole process of them really kind of doing that initial breach.
Yeah.
And while I believe it was Josh that really kind of explained it to us, I think it was Josh was with us last week in chat talking about
I found the explanation on the Attack on Titan.
That's right.
Wiki.
We were curious, so then that's right.
I looked it up.
So Lexi went ahead and looked it up, and I remember somebody was able to help us out. Thankfully, it was Lex.
Like further explain it.
And Lexi was able to find out that Annie was there, essentially being protected and hidden. And then
it was the football for Reiner's tackle.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're gonna go ahead and learn more about that as we go ahead and discuss today's episode. But what I want to do now is I want to take the time to go ahead and find out what we've been up to, and also find out from you guys who are in chat. Jacob, like I said, is in chat. Anybody else that joins us in chat, what your guys' week looks like, what you guys have been up to. I know that the holidays are really right around the corner. We're gonna have, of course,
we're in double digits now in December already.
Yeah, already. It's crazy. But you know what? Hey, this is what I want to go ahead and say. While it is crazy and while it is chaotic and while it can be stressful, the holiday season is a season that comes and goes. So let's just go ahead and enjoy it. When you're walking around anywhere, if you go out there and you're driving around, you see the Christmas lights. If you're going over to the mall, you're going over to the stores, and you hear the Christmas music, and then you get that kind of holiday spirit as, you know, you just kind of like forget that literally in a couple weeks, this is all gonna be gone. You know, we're gonna be into 2025.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and enjoy it, you know? I myself am excited for the holiday season this year, and yeah, we got some fun stuff planned, and yeah, just trying to go ahead and enjoy it.
I'm
Jacob
on 861. I'm really slowing
861.
down so my friends can catch up.
Okay, well that's good. So, damn, Jacob, you're grinding, my friend.
861 is crazy.
Yeah.
You make gold.
You trying to get me? You trying to get me to catch up?
Yeah, so my friends can catch up. You.
Okay, but the thing is though, is that I'm already well into the thousands. So essentially, I finished Wano arc, and I am gonna be going to, was it Egghead or something like that? Yeah. So I'm done with Wano. That's where I'm at.
So Jacob, you gotta catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I really need to catch up on is, maybe you're mistaken, maybe you're combining the lack of source material that I have been kind of absorbing, is My Hero Academia.
I started watching it again.
Did you?
And I'm only 8 episodes behind.
Okay. Damn, how many were you before?
Like 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay.
12 or 11.
So solid 4 episodes, all right.
Yeah. I'm
Interesting.
currently watching that, and it's getting crazy. It is getting crazy.
Getting crazy?
There has
Uh-oh, something happens?
There has been a death.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. There has been a death.
And don't elaborate on that, of course,
it.
Jacob.
Jacob, don't elaborate.
What I want to do, Jacob, is I want to go ahead and try to find and see what episode I'm on.
You're on My Hero?
Yeah. No, not My Hero, over on One Piece. I'm afraid to look at what episode I'm on My Hero. Let's see real quick. I'm going to my Crunchyroll. We will find that information. I can't wait for Lexi to start watching it.
Right.
Let's see. Where we at? Okay. So right now my continue watching is on One Piece episode 1088. And that's where I'm at right now. 1088.
Dang. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So it looks like you have some catching up to do, Jacob.
My friend.
I'm on 1088. So yeah, I can't wait till Zoro becomes a monster. I'm ready to see Ace again. We're all ready. We're all waiting. But yeah. So again, I want to find out really what Lexi's week's been like. I know that she just kind of gave us a little bit of hint that she started watching My Hero Academia again. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. And Jacob, if you want to go ahead and let us know what you've been up to, anything fun happen. I can't wait to go hear about Lexi's weekend, specifically Sunday.
Lots of fun.
But so now it's time. I will go ahead and throw it to Lex and find out what Lexi's been up to.
Saturday was other than work throughout the rest of the week, from when I saw you guys. Saturday was the men's volleyball team's alumni game, which I helped out with. Saw a lot of, and I knew all of the alumni there because I'm old compared to the rest of them, I guess. So I knew everyone, and it was a lot of fun. It's kind of sad that we ended up tying with them. We should have beat them, but you know what? Our team is whatever. Anyways.
Wait, so
lots of fun.
To kind of go ahead and kind of understand more clearly, the alumni played against the current.
Yes.
Okay.
Alumni played against the current team.
The current team.
And
got it.
Barely enough alumni showed up. Like 7 alumni showed up.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so they had enough for 6 to play and 2 middles switching out.
Okay.
Thankfully. And yeah.
How did you feel playing? Because not to go ahead and bring up, obviously, health stuff.
I wasn't playing.
Oh, you weren't playing.
It's
You were
the men's
helping
volleyball
out.
team.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was there. I was doing score.
Okay.
I was there to hang out, and I was there for vibes.
So then, how was it like seeing some old familiar faces?
I could go without a few.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But you know what? We're all adults. Hey, what's up? How are you? I won't see you again for like another 2 years.
Yeah,
Bye.
there you go.
And that's about it.
If that.
That's kind of,
Never know.
That's kind of
They
the
might die.
relationship. You know what?
I'm kidding.
They might. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. But I want to talk about Sunday. Sunday, for those of you that may not remember, was the LA walk and roll for to cure ALS.
Exactly. I don't know if you want to tie that into right now Jacob's previous comment.
I've been playing Fortnite, so that's cool, I guess. Oh, and I signed a petition Lex put out to help Aaron. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So, in regard to that, she just put out a petition basically voting for their video about advancing technology in health. And it's about the AI for speech, which Aaron does struggle with in her ALS journey. She does struggle a little bit with speaking because, of course, it is a muscular it is a neuromuscular disease, so that means that your voice goes as well. But it was so much fun, the actual event itself. It was at the LA Galaxy's soccer team arena.
Wow.
And they had just won the championship the night before, so there was still like confetti on the field.
Wow.
It was kind of fun.
That's so cool.
But super cool. Aaron, so they had different like teams of people with ALS, and Aaron's team was designed by her and created by her, and it's Rage Against the Disease, because she's a fan of Rage Against the Machine.
Okay.
So, lots of compliments on her shirts. Oh my gosh, couldn't walk more than 10 feet without getting complimented. And I felt so proud being like, she designed it. The person that also designed our logo that you see beautifully teetering back and forth, that is Erin. She is amazing. Yep. She designed it. Even with ALS, she designed her shirt. So, which was really cool. But she had a speech. She was on Fox 11 News. Her speech was beautiful. She used, she wrote it out using eye gaze technology because writing is difficult for her where she's at. And so there's a technology where you use your eyesight to type. So she wrote it all out, and then she has an AI made of her voice. I will say it is her voice, but it's not her cadence. It's like not the way that she speaks, which like I've talked to her about it, and she was like, yeah, but it's as close as we have right now. And I was like, yeah, it's still really cool though. Like it's her voice. So they pretty much had her voice saying the speech, and she was up there and made all of us cry. And it was super
Dad
cool.
said that
it was very touching.
Dry eye in the crowd.
Yeah. So, she was basically a celebrity there. It's funny. I was like, obviously hanging out with her the whole time. Mm-hmm. And she was like, dude, I can't make it like 5 feet without someone stopping me and talking to me and being like, look, I have your shirt. Look, because she does have a following on Instagram, which is really great. She does have a very big community around her. She's got all this love and all the support around her. And I couldn't be happier for that.
Well,
and
even with our own small circle that we have, and again, credit to Jacob and credit to others who really have, joined Aaron over on this journey just with their support and their
Thank you for
love
that, Jacob,
and everything.
by the way.
And so Jacob is so obviously we've expressed really, Jacob, what you mean to the podcast, and the fact that you go even beyond the podcast and show your love and support. I mean, it means the world to us. And again, man, we love you so much, man, and we are so grateful and thankful for you. And again, shout out right now. Jacob says that my dad's now part-time manager at UPS,
congrats.
and now got a nice little raise. Okay, right on. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Good. So shout out and shout out to Bat and we miss Bat and but I'm so glad that you guys are all doing well.
Yeah,
and just in time for the holidays too. So if you guys are thinking about something to get me, hey, no, I'm kidding. I
need a new Xbox.
I'm kidding, of course. But again, all seriousness, Jacob, thank you for everything and all the support that you show us and to Aaron and because like you said, to go ahead and bring it back to you, Aaron does have a tremendous following.
She does.
And support.
And you could really see that all the way through fruition on Sunday. It was really, really cool. But of course, I'll get you a PS5. Like, oh, okay, I'll take that too. Don't have to be an Xbox. I'll take that too.
Don't do that.
No. Yeah. Our PO box is in the description. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm blurry. I need to not yell. Maybe yelling is scaring it. But yeah, Erin is. I mean, I've been best friends with her since my freshman year of high school. So we've known each other for a while, because she's 25 now. But it's funny because I know how introverted she is, and like any little time that we had where we were actually like not talking to a bunch of people introducing themselves, we were like we were like, oh my God, like we could breathe. Like I was talking to Erin and I was like, so you tired now? Like we were barely in the middle of the walk and she was like, dude, I'm so ready to go home and stare at a wall for 4 hours. She was like, I'm just going to go stare at a wall for a couple hours. She was like, I don't want to make eye contact with anyone anymore. I don't remember any of the last 20 people I met. Like there's so much happening, but it's because she's such a celebrity.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was on Fox News. Really, really cool. So incredibly proud of her. I mean, I've said it before. There was actually a live interview going on, and Erin was like, I want you in the interview. Yes, she is. Really? And Erin was like, I want you in the interview with me. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I want you there with me and my mom. I was like, okay. So I went and like they hooked us up with the mics and stuff, and they were like, and 3, 2, 1, and you're live. And I'm like, I didn't get a script. Like, what's supposed to be happening?
Live TV, Lex.
But it was cool. It was really cool. And I did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and I nominated Luca, and Luca knows. So, yeah, I did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and everything too. But really, really cool. And Mom won a giveaway.
Dad went ahead and told me a funny story about that where
there is a funny story.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go ahead and so you'll probably be able to tell the story better because I wasn't there.
Yeah, I'll tell it. So after the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, obviously I was wet and cold. So I went off to the side in the sun to change because I wasn't full on changing. It was just like, let me put my shirt back on. Let me so I'm off to the side and Mom and Dad are over helping me. They're like, okay, well, I have an extra jacket. Like, do you want to put your wet clothes in my bag? So my mom, oh my God, I want to be in focus for this story. What if I want to make a clip out of it? Please come back.
Maybe scream at it again. No, I'm kidding.
Focus!
Maybe try taking the headset off.
I know.
And then back on.
I have a face, please. I have a face. Please, I'm a star. If you guys know where that's from, you're a real one. Oh my God.
It's going to be one of those podcasts.
All right, it's going to be one of those days, guys. Anyways, I'm just going to... There we go.
Comes and goes, you know.
I'm just going to continue with the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while Mom is like, hold on, let me... And then she just goes... She like interrupts herself. And goes,
tell you what,
I won.
I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you real quick. You want maybe try to turn the light off? Maybe that'll help?
Yeah. Like how, like last.
Yeah. We'll see if that helps. Maybe not. What's up, baby? Zebra Cake's joining us live in chat.
I'm glad you know that.
She most definitely is a star.
Please, I'm a star. Whatever, I'm just going to continue. It'll fix itself.
Go ahead.
So, my mom literally interrupts herself and goes, I won, and starts running like towards the stage. And Dad and I are looking at each other like, what? Like we're looking at each other like, what did she win? What do you mean? Because we can't hear anything. So we are so shocked that our mom was even able to hear that she won, and she just goes running, taking off, like it's yelling at the guy, waving her hand, I won. And my dad and I are like, okay, I'm just gonna get ready and head over there. And she won four In-N-Out meal cards. And for those of you who don't know what a meal card is, it covers it is a card. It's not a gift card that has a cash amount. It just covers your entire meal. no matter the price. It just covers a combo, which was pretty cool. So obviously that's where we went to eat after. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, that whole event was super cool. I definitely plan on doing it again and again and again. And they've been, I think the ALS network has been doing their yearly walk for around 20 years. I think next year is going to be the 25th year anniversary. So that's going to be really cool. I'm definitely going to go to that. And yeah, Aaron got a lot of donations, raised a lot of money to help us find the cure for ALS, because there is a cure out there. We're going to find it. And yeah, it was just really overall really, really cool experience seeing all of those. Like, I kept hearing people being like, yeah, I'm the nurse that helps this. I help her mom, and I did like, I kept hearing stuff about that. And I just couldn't help but just constantly thank them, because it truly does take a village. And again, like I said, I'm really happy and honored to even know Erin at all, let alone personally, let alone be her best friend. So that was really cool. That was really, really, really cool. And now we have our t-shirts that I'm going to proudly wear everywhere, because she designed them and they look really, really cool.
Get that applause.
And also I started watching the new anime Dandadan. I started watching it because I'm trying to get back into my anime knowledge, because I feel like I have been very much lacking. And also yeah, Dandadan is pretty weird. I will say I love how it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I love it, but it's weird. Exactly. I love that it doesn't take itself too seriously, and that it does have, it feels like a classic anime, kind of, but also not too much of a copycat. Like it is really weird, but I love it. I actually have been really enjoying it. The most recent episode 10, has been my favorite episode so far. And it's just kind of like it's weird to call it a feel good anime when it's like a shonen, but I think it is. And the intro song is really cool too. But the reason why I've been all over my anime again is because all I'll say is that Jubilee has hired me for another video, and it's about anime. So.
Oh, really? Wow.
So I'll definitely be shouting out the podcast, and I'll let you guys know when it's uploaded.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see.
Is it a competition type thing, or?
Yeah, it is. So.
Okay, cool.
We'll see. That's why I'm like, let me get on my shit, because if I have people calling me out for being like, oh, well, you haven't finished My Hero. Oh, well, you watch dub, then I'm gonna get voted off.
So are you watching on sub now?
No. I'm not gonna change who I am. I like eating and stuff while I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I would like to look away every once in a while and not feel like I have to pause. It's going to take me way too long to watch in subtitles. And yeah, you could say, oh, well, you're just a bad reader. What if I am a bad reader? And what if I am? Let me watch my dub and appreciate the dub voice acting. Yeah. All right? Because I'll get better context that way. All right? Good stuff. That was my weekend.
Right on. Hell yeah. Awesome.
All right, AJ. Your turn. Passing on the baton.
Yeah. My weekend was nice, very relaxing. It was just a super relaxing weekend with my girlfriend, the amazing Zebra Cakes, and it was a much needed relaxing weekend for her, because she had been putting in some substantial work literally for the last couple of weeks just to get everything all done for her show that she's gonna be doing in January, her show in London. I'm excited for that. Yeah, we just were able to go ahead and just really rest. Yeah, it was good. We got a nice, cozy Christmas pajamas. We really did embrace and appreciate the holiday vibes. We watched a lot of Christmas movies, and it was just nice. It was very relaxing, and again, like I said, definitely much needed for the ultra talented Zebra Cakes. We kind of just been living as roaches over in our studio prior to that weekend, so it was nice to go ahead and be home, and nice to just kind of again unwind, and Zebra Cakes went ahead and made some nice Christmas cookies and stuff, and we were snacking a lot, so it was a nice weekend that consisted of some good snacks, and it was just nice. Yeah, it was just really, really nice. And again, like I said, we're just really enjoying just the holidays. So we're really excited for what's to come for us, and for our families, and just enjoying the holidays together. And I'm very much looking forward to it. But to answer your question, the weekend was nice, relaxing, and again, really refreshing.
Good.
So it was good.
Sounds like we all had some pretty good weekends.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, definitely. Good stuff. All right, so
I'm ready to get into these responses.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
100%. We can go ahead and do that. I'll let Lexi decide what she wants to start with, whether it be the Q&A that involves Marcel or the poll question that involves Reiner.
I'm going to start off with the poll question. So last week, aka yesterday, we asked you guys, was Reiner a good leader in parody? Specifically saying in parody. Was he a good leader in parody? And it's a simple yes or no poll.
Yeah.
I say simple, but it's really not that simple. Anything with Attack on Titan is never as simple as yes or no. But you guys have to choose yes or no. So one of them is 67%, and the other option is 33%.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you have a guess, or do you just want me to say it?
I do have a guess, and I would be very interested to hear. You said it was 37%. What the 37%?
33.
I would be very interested to hear the 33% as to why they believe Reiner is not a good leader.
You're correct.
Interesting. Okay.
33% say no, he was not a good leader, and 67% say yes. And one of those yes votes is mine. Okay. I agree. I think that in parody, Reiner was in his element. He was a damn good soldier until his warrior came out. And then it's like, oh, that's why you're here. So thinking like Reiner and thinking like they're two different personalities, I definitely think that the parody soldier was much more of a leader than the Marley warrior.
Or the Marley warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
parody
how I
soldier
feel about
over
it.
Marley and warrior.
Yeah.
Interesting. Perhaps maybe another poll question in the future.
I know.
About which Reiner is the better Reiner.
I'll put that in the note.
Yeah.
That's good.
Interesting. Okay. So I personally do think that Reiner, while he started out not with the best conditions,
Yes.
he really did kind of fill that void. He went ahead and he did what he had to do to go ahead and keep that mission afloat, and really embraced, like Lexi had mentioned, that soldier mindset, a mindset that even had Annie questioning Reiner's allegiance, and Reiner has to go ahead and explain to him. We'll hear all that we'll hear that conversation in this episode as we break it down. But Reiner did such a good job that even Annie was believing it. And Reiner really stepped up to the plate in terms of not just talking the talk, but also, walking the walk.
Yeah.
And he, like Lexi mentioned, he was just in his element there over in the island of parody.
He really was. And
something where he just was
everyone was eating it up. You're my big brother. Oh my God, you're amazing. Top of our class.
Yeah. And
that's probably why Reiner was so like, is this who I am? He's like, because this feels so natural.
And the tricky question is
traitor.
Did Reiner even enjoy it? Because was Reiner even Reiner? Or was he obviously this entire time pretending to be someone else?
We got to get a psychologist on the podcast.
Exactly. But Like I said, I would be interested to hear reasonings as to why our 33% believes that Reiner was not a good leader. I think that would be an interesting conversation. Jacob, if you want in chat, let us know how you voted and why. That'd be awesome. I would love to go ahead and hear why you guys, why anybody believed Reiner was a good leader. But again, like Lexi pretty much summed it up, where when it came to the island, Reiner really felt more comfortable than he was over in his own home. Reiner was able to go ahead and really kind of shine and show his really his dominance as a soldier.
He was fully respected, encouraged. Yeah.
And obviously that made the whole betrayal even that much more difficult for a lot of those characters. And when you go ahead and you lose somebody that is one you believe to be like an older brother, and then one of the top of the class,
then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'm one of the causes of your entire resolve.
Yeah.
I'm the reason you have the resolve you have.
Exactly. And so it's one of those things where it's like, man, like, it's like, I think about it like this kind of, you have the athletic kid over in class and he's good at everything.
Yeah,
and
Jacob has his answer.
Let's just say that if that kid in class was good at everything, right?
Yeah.
You come to find out that all the bad things that happened to your life, he was the root of it. And now you have to go ahead and kind of face that person who's good at everything. So it's like, fuck, well, this person beat me in sports, this person beat me in all these different kind of, like athletic type competitions, this person beat me physically. How do I beat this guy? It's like, man, obviously you need a team.
We have assembled a team.
But I don't know. So it's one of those things where, like, for any of those cadets, which again, we're going to go back into that realm, into that mindset, back into those flashbacks, in this episode. But those cadets finding out that, the top of the class, one of the top, and the older brother is, like Lexi mentioned, the one who caused the chaos, and really just was the pivotal factor as to why they're even training to become, scouts, soldiers, MPs, whatever it is, to begin with. So I don't know. It's crazy. But Reiner was good at what he did. So shout out to Reiner. Good leader. Even when it came down to trying to go ahead and get Annie to follow along, because from what we see, it looks like Annie was pretty hard to convince.
Yeah.
So, but hey, she kind of followed along. But
thank you who answered.
Yeah. So with Jacob, he says, of course he was, because he helped the others grow. That's a great way to go ahead and put it. Because
the question is good leader.
Yeah.
And I believe he was.
Yeah. He did. He helped. We saw even those island devils. He went ahead and he helped them grow as soldiers. He helped out Armin. He helped out Aaron. And as far as anybody else, I would imagine that if they approached Reiner with the need and the wants to go ahead and learn from him or to get help from him, I think Reiner would go ahead and kind of just do it for the fact that, one, he's trying to go ahead and continue to create that illusion, but also, it's like Reiner really did go method with it and really embrace that older brother role. So I think that he would do it for that reason as well. But yeah. So that's a great way to go ahead and put it, for sure, Jacob. And thank you, like Lexi said, for voting, and for everybody else, thank you for voting.
Yeah, thank you all who voted. Really, really cool. I always love seeing your guys' results and your guys' input. Yeah.
So now to go ahead and transition, now somebody that would be difficult to go ahead and lead. And I should say to try to have them follow would be Porco.
Yes.
So
yes.
With that being said, Marcel.
Q&A.
And Lexi's going to go ahead and read us that Q&A about Marcel.
Yes. So yesterday we asked you guys our Q&A. I gave you guys some context before giving you your official question.
Okay.
So Marcel decides to stop his brother Porco from acquiring the armor titan and going to the island of Parody to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
Their question is, was Marcel valid in his decision?
Interesting.
I want to see what you guys have to say. Very curious. So we have 3 responses. So we'll start off with Jacob's.
Okay.
Jacob says, nah, he's just hating. He's just hating. Marcel, you think he's just hating? I mean, you think that Marcel's just hating, Jacob?
Interesting.
I would love to hear your elaboration on that since I have you here.
Yeah.
And anyone else who's here, please elaborate. But as Jacob's getting that ready, we have another response from Bobby, friend of the show. Bobby, what's up, bro? We miss you. I know you're listening now. I see you, Bobby. I see you. Bobby says, yes, I don't want an armored hothead attacking instead of defending. He makes a better jaw and vice versa.
Interesting.
I like the way Bobby thinks.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, yeah, also, I would rather have Reiner as the armored, and I would rather not have like he says, he doesn't want an armored hothead attacking instead of defending.
Yeah.
Because, like, there was that big analysis last episode? Like last Attack on Titan episode about all of the Titans, and that it was like, yeah, the armored, perfect for defense.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. But I mean like last Attack on Titan episode, not Attack the Talk episode.
This was part 1.
It was in part 1.
So it was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was in this current episode.
Yeah, this episode.
Dang, this episode is meaty. We have been going through this for a while.
Yeah, that was
it's like an episode a month, basically, is what we're doing.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Bobby, I think that's super cool. I totally agree. And I love your analysis on that. Do you have any words on that?
I do want to go ahead and bring this up, though. So when it comes to Marcel's decision-making, right, and let's say there is a hot-headed armored titan there, does that hot-headed armored titan protect his brother from that pure titan rising up from the ground? Does Marcel go on and survive, right? How does that play into factors of how the story goes going forward, and the Marleyan warriors, going out there and trying to fulfill this plan? Does the plan go more so according to plan? Think about it from this perspective, Bobby, and I know, like I said, you're listening.
I know you're listening.
If you are rooting for these Titan warriors, would you rather want Porco there, or would you rather want Reiner there? Take away from what we already know when it comes to what Reiner did over in the Island of Parody. If Porco was there, would Porco help further advance the agenda that these Titan warriors are trying to go ahead and do? Does Marcel survive, or is that always the plan going forward? Don't tell me that Eren made it so. That's always the cop-out answer.
I know. It's because Eren made it so.
Now, again, I agree with you that Porco's emotions aren't really in check. Not to say that Reiner's are, but Reiner's not necessarily as hot-headed as Porco is. Nor so is...
Their emotions run violent in different ways.
Yeah. So Porco has to be, pushed to go ahead and follow orders, but, Porco will ultimately do what needs to be done. And I'm just wondering, when it comes to Marcel's decision making, and again, when we ask you guys these questions and just in general, I would like for you guys to really go ahead and pay attention to what we're asking here. Granted, it is.
You guys are being graded on this. Come on, I need paragraphs.
Again, it all stems to your own opinions, right? But I think the layered part of it all is when you read it, right? Can you go ahead and read that question for me again, Lex?
The question was Marcel valid in his decision?
Interesting. Now, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and kind of really think about it and put it in the mindset of Marcel, who's making that decision.
Yeah.
Was he valid in what he decided to do? Now, if you want to say that he protected his brother, then yes. If you want to say that, hey, they both could have died, then that's a good argument, right? He ultimately protected his brother. He ultimately became Porco. He ultimately became the Jaw Titan, right? To go ahead and avenge his brother. But is there an opportunity where they both could have survived? Both could have fulfilled the goal over in Parody? Would things have been better?
What would need to
for
change?
Them? And that's kind of stuff that I think about. But in terms of what we've seen and what we know as Attack on Titan, and again, perspective always tells a story. We're rooting for a certain 3. And that 3 doesn't consist of Reiner, Bertold, and Annie. That 3 consists of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin.
Yep.
And if we want to go ahead and justify Marcel's reasoning, then yeah, you're damn right. I want freaking Reiner there over freaking Porco.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Porco's rebellious ass over in the cadets?
I know.
You have the two twins there. You have one twin that is more righteous and more, selfless and more of a leader, and you have the other twin that is, as I said, rebellious, angry, low-key a bully.
If he's rebellious already in his real military, how do you think he's going to act with some military he doesn't even respect and thinks are all devils?
How do you think he's going to go ahead and literally, exactly, go ahead and react towards all these people around him that he just has disgust
What happens
for?
when Sardis calls him ugly?
Yeah. Interesting. Jacob says, if they could both live, imagine if they both could be the Jaws. Well, that's the interesting part, is that if they both survive, that means that Porco becomes the armored. And that means that his armored Titan is a different version.
If that was possible.
Yeah. But
you can't have multiples. Well, you know what? I can't say you can't, because at the end of season 4, we do see multiples.
Well, the thing is, though, is that so again, in order to have both of them together, which we saw literally at the end of it, is they both would have to die, and they did, and then they get brought back together. Now, in terms of both of them becoming Jaws, that means that Porco would have to go ahead and take the Titan from the predecessor, and then the only way that would happen really in terms of the passing of the guard would be if Marcel is passing it over to Porco.
Marcel passes it
obviously Porco ultimately does get it because he gets it from Ymir, because again, we talked about it last week. Ymir is the one who murders and eats and takes the power from Marcel.
Mm-hmm. But if Ymir was not there, then possibly.
Yeah, and how does that also affect Ymir's story? Because again, if Porco is there is no story for Ymir. There's always a ripple. Yeah, that means Ymir doesn't have that story.
Yeah, Ymir doesn't get a story. She's just a mindless, wandering Titan.
And she probably ends up pretty much dying in her pure Titan form because of these Titan warriors.
Yeah.
Jacob says, what happens if he got the founding Titan instead? Well, if either one of them got the founding Titan, it would only be, I would imagine, for a short period of time.
Yeah.
They would have to go ahead and transport that over to...
It would just have to be like a placeholder.
Yeah. And if you think that Marley's going to allow one of those kids to go ahead and be the founding Titan, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
Marley's not going to go ahead and allow that. They're going to go ahead and find who they want to be the founding Titan. And then guess what? If you're Porco and hey, I got the founding Titan. Great job, Porco. Awesome job. All right, let's bring over our next founding Titan. Porco's going to look and like, wait, what the hell? What do you mean? And then,
you can't use it. You don't have any royal blood. You won't be able to use it.
And then they're going to go ahead
but thanks for holding on to it.
They're going to sacrifice him for the greater good. So now everything has kind of a cause and effect, of course, right? Anything. So again, if that cause is to keep Marcel alive, the effect means we don't even know who the hell Ymir is. We don't learn anything about that story. We don't learn about her troubled childhood and how she became to be this, this idolized deity, even though she is this young girl, and then, ends up becoming, this pure Titan in such devastating fashion. There is no love storyline with Krista, who ultimately becomes, her true self in Historia. That whole story is null and void.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it, which means I don't have my biggest pet peeve of the story with Ymir's decision. My pet peeve would be something else. And so that would be a whole different story, which is crazy. But again, it's all about perspectives. And again, from the perspective that Bobby's giving, and thank you again, Bobby, for the response. But the perspective that Bobby is given is, I'm guessing, from the perspective of, what a lot of us have. And that is literally looking out for Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. And that means no hot-headed armored Titans.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Only sometimes.
We already got a hot-headed freaking female Titan.
And a hot-headed armored / founding / Warhammer. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And last but not least, from our another loyal listener, Kirkland Allen 02.
Shout out
Kirkland Allen, says that, talking about Marcel, bro knew his family was built for Jaws. He was right. They look badass.
That's true.
Which is, true.
That's true.
It's
The
like, you know
fact
what? They
that-
look cool. So
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're both twins, and so of course they're gonna look like
they're going to look
the
very
same
similar.
Titan.
Yeah.
But again, that moment when we get at the end of the series when all those Titans are brought back, and both of the Galliard Jaw Titans are right there side by side.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, like that's cool.
That freaking that is
Dang,
just
if I
epic.
grew up with that propaganda, I'd probably be saluting too.
Yeah. And again, we don't know for sure if there's been any other Jaw Titan that resembles any kind of like lion mane type thing.
Yeah.
If it is just kind of a DNA blood related thing, then credit to the Galliards because they got that shit.
They do. They got that on lock. But yeah,
So
those
thank
are
you,
all the
Kirkland.
responses.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Kirkland.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank you, Jacob, and
Thank you.
we appreciate it.
Thank you to those that are listening now on other platforms. We very much appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, hello. Hi.
What's
I
up?
can see you. I see you. You see me? I see you. Any other audio platforms? I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. So
But cool. Yeah, look out for more Q&As and polls on our story at Attack the Talk Podcast on Instagram in the future.
yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that. Awesome. So should we just go ahead and dive into the story?
I'm so ready.
Let's do this. Okay, so again, guys, this is season 4, episode 3. The episode's name is The Door of Hope, and this is part 3 of our episode breakdown and discussion. I already did a recap for you guys at the start of this episode.
Very good.
And we're going to go ahead and find out really the kind of aftermath of Reiner becoming and embracing this leader. Yeah, I'm excited for it. So
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and change the tempo a little bit.
Yeah, let's get that mood music. There we go.
So Lexi will go ahead and narrate for us this episode. I will have the honor of doing Zach's usual voices.
Yeah, all the lines.
until Zach gets back. And again, let me go ahead and take a quick little swig of water, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get started.
All right. So
Whenever you're ready, Lex.
we continue the episode as our 3 young main characters stare up in terror, facing the colossal Titan for the first time. As destruction is currently happening, we see Bertolt escaping from his Titan body. As Bertolt climbs down from the empty vessel, he hears a rumbling. Large footprints approaching closer. Out of the smoke emerges the Dinah Fritz Titan, or as we know, the Smiling Titan. Bertolt stares at the Titan, vulnerable and afraid, until the Smiling Titan just walks right past him. Bertolt watches the Titan avoiding him, confused. Then, inside the walls, Reiner narrates to us.
I wanted to become a warrior because I thought it would make my mom's wish to live with me and my father come true. But my father never wanted any part of us.
The Armor Titan charges towards the inner wall.
Mom lived for a dream that she knew was hopeless. I should have never been chosen. I should have died today.
While Reiner remembers Marcel.
Why apologize? And why save someone like me? This can't end with me doing nothing, knowing nothing. Before I die, I need to change something.
Right as Reiner's Armor Titan is about to charge through the wall, the scene changes to Annie, waking up as she rests her head on a pillow. As she opens her eyes, she initially sees Reiner and Bertolt sitting beside her. Annie asks, "Where are we?" Bertolt immediately answers,
In Walrose, we're safe.
The 3 are in a The 3 are in a camp. I've been gaming too much. The 3 are in a camp for those people that have lost their home. And inside the camp, Annie notices 3 other children huddled together, comforting each other. A boy with short dark hair, a girl with long black hair, and a boy with a blonde mop top. Reiner tells his comrades,
Annie, Bertolt, I'm sorry.
Reiner places his arms around both of his comrades, comforting them. Reiner continues,
I'll be the warrior I should have been. for Marcel.
The next scene we continue with is the first day of cadet training. Commandant Quetzadis yells out,
Oxface! Just what in the hell did you come here to do?
Reiner animately answers,
I'm here to save humanity.
ooh. You know what? He might not be wrong. He's just talking about his
humanity.
His humanity.
Yeah. Now we know what Reiner's given little nickname from the Commandant is. It's Oxface.
That's probably just a nickname that Isayama's always had for him.
Probably.
And it's like, just give it to Sadis.
Just give it over to him. Yeah. So again, now we go back to the moment where everything changed for all these characters, and that is what we saw
in
over
the
first episode exactly, and that would be the Colossal Titan's appearance, his emergence, his arrival into the story. Initially, we don't know that this is another person in disguise. We think this is just some sort of different advanced variation of these Titans. Maybe there's some sort of Titan evolutions, but regardless,
we do not realize that these are literal children.
Yeah, but again, we are kind of seen to go ahead and believe that obviously these Titans are the main focus, the main villains, and this is the main Titan.
Yes.
And like Lexi mentioned,
the one that started it all.
That Colossal Titan is just a child.
Yeah.
As we see just a young Bertolt, just
a feebly young Bertolt,
very carefully climbing down the empty Titan vessel. And then there is that moment.
He does look like he's in a lot of fear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He looks like he just is something where it's like the moment is too big.
He's got the same face, that same expression that Eren had when he first saw it.
Yeah, exactly. The Smiling Titan goes out, emerges from the smoke, and we find out and we understand now why the Dynafritz Titan walked past Bertolt.
For those of you who don't remember, Dynafritz is Grisha's first wife, which is
Zeke's mother.
Yeah, Zeke's mother.
Yeah.
Who is a royal member. So, very interesting. And like AJ was alluding to, we know why she just walks past Bertolt.
It is a moment that
we now know why.
We saw still haunts Eren Yeager to that day when he explains to us.
Crazy decision he had to make.
Eren knew that in order for little Eren to go ahead and go on this journey, this adventure,
to eventually liberate war.
Yes.
Essentially.
This had to happen, which means that Eren made it so that Dynafritz would walk past Bertolt and make the Titan's way over to young Eren's home.
Yeah, make her way to eventually eat the current wife of her former husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Drama.
That's kind of a strange little parallel moment there.
Drama.
But like you said, the fear in Bertolt's eyes really resemble...
That smile is crazy.
It really resembles the fear in Eren and the fear even in Hannes. Anybody that comes across that Titan really goes out there and gets that shock factor.
It's just a haunting smile. That smile haunts many people's nightmares.
Yeah.
And gosh, Dinah didn't even have a smile like that. Her pure Titan form is doing her so dirty.
Yeah.
If her smile looks like that, what would my pure Titan look like?
Oh my God. It'd just be all teeth.
It's just all mouth. It's like half the face is mouth, which is basically what Dinah's is.
Mine would just be all dimples. It'd just be...
Yeah, you just have like sunken in hole.
Yeah.
And facial hair. And a damn good mustache.
Yeah, damn right. But yeah, so what I wanted to go ahead and kind of ask you, Lex, and again, we don't know the answer to this, but I just want to kind of get Lexi's opinion on this, and even Jacob as well, if you think that this is something that Bertolt remembered. Now, the moment when they're back over in the fields past the forest of giant trees, when Reiner and Bertolt had escaped with Eren, and the scouts are traveling to go ahead and get to both of them and retrieve and rescue Eren. That is the moment where Eren first uses his coordinate ability. Do you think Bertolt encountered that Titan again? Do you think he saw and recognized that Titan again?
No, honestly, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Bertold's at the point where he's seen so many, and I think in that initial moment when he's a child, of course, yeah, he's like, oh my god, a Titan. I think that's genuinely what he's thinking. I think he's like, oh my god, a Titan. Like, I can't transform right now. Not, oh my god, that smile. I think it's, oh my god, a Titan. And walks past him and he's like, okay, cool. What's next? Because, you know, he's on a mission right now. Like, it is going down. The, like, peak part of the mission just happened. They just infiltrated in a huge way. And he's probably got a million things in his mind. He is young. So
we also do know that.
Yeah. And when he eventually sees her again, I don't think he puts two and two together.
Because we do know that eventually gets to a point where the coordinate ability is used and the Titans are now going after Reiner and himself. And so he's essentially trying to stay in Reiner's hand as he's being protected.
Yeah, they're just being...
And so there's not much that Bertold can really do nor see.
It's that same scene where we get that absolutely amazing Mikasa line.
Yeah.
She's like, who are you going to follow?
Yeah.
Me or the bitch I'm going to kill? Like, damn, that was actually pretty cool, girl.
Yeah. But again, like I brought this up because this wouldn't be the first Titan that they recognize upon appearance. You know, obviously they recognize Ymir right away. And when she transformed into the Jaw Titan over at the Utgard Castle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of wondering if, you know, as this moment happened in the story, and it seems to be kind of a moment where there is genuine fear in Bertold. Is this something where he would recognize this Titan again?
Oh, that's true too. When he uses the coordinate, Jacob says that Bertold could have just been so distracted wondering how the hell Eren could do that. Especially knowing like he's not royal blood, how is he able to... Yeah, the coordinate? Like, seriously, the coordinate?
Yeah.
So...
And again, I mean...
There's a lot going on.
We don't know, the answer to that question, but we can assume that they just never even encountered that Titan because, you know, we never see any kind of moment where, you know, that Titan crosses Reiner and Bertold's paths, essentially goes out there and emerges from the smoke again and crosses paths with Eren and Hannes and Mikasa again.
That's true.
So
because she did kind of get obliterated immediately after Eren punched her hand.
Yeah.
Immediately after Eren punched her hand, and all the Titans went after her and was like, oh. Yeah. Okay.
So, but again, genuine fear from Bertold. Bertold's confused for obvious reasons, but we are explained again that this was all a part of Eren Yeager's grand plan to make sure that he ultimately gets to where he needs to go. But now Reiner again, as he narrates to us, right? He is again. This is Reiner's story, and we understand what he's fighting for. And now here, as he was explained, and I should say, as it was revealed in last week's episode, that he wasn't even supposed to be here to begin with. It was supposed to be Porco, but again, Marcel ended up saving his brother, and so he went ahead and he put Reiner over on this pedestal, and he kind of trashed his brother, and so Reiner's here. But Reiner wants to go ahead and make his time worth it, right? He explains that he just wants to become a warrior. He thought that it would make his mom's wish to just live with his family again come true, but he realizes that his father doesn't want any of that. And so he realizes that the dream that his mom lived for is something that can't be fulfilled. And so he goes out there, he now reflects on him. As I said, shouldn't have been here. I should have died today, reflecting on the whole Ymir thing. And then he goes out there and he thinks about that moment again, where he even asks when Marcel explains to him that he shouldn't be there, and he apologizes to him, and Reiner asks, why apologize? Yeah. Reiner asks it again. He says, why save someone like me? He says, this can't end with me doing nothing, knowing nothing. And then this is kind of a very big, impactful statement. He says, before he dies, he needs to change something. Just to go ahead and kind of...
he does have this resolve for a while.
Yeah. And this is, again, just to go ahead and enlighten us over on what he's fighting for, his motivation. And this, I believe, really does define Reiner at this point as to how he becomes that leader that we voted him to go ahead and be, this, great one and whatnot. Here he's just really, he's just trying to go ahead and be the best version of himself. This is obviously a different version.
Yes.
But this version of being this soldier,
there are versions.
He's trying to go ahead and be the best that he can for this plan of him trying to go ahead and change something. Right? Now, we can go ahead eventually later on and debate as to if he fulfilled that plan. Mm-hmm. Because we understand that Reiner, while the effort was there, Reiner, for a lot of these big key and pivotal moments, it seemed like Reiner kind of fell short. He barely escaped parody, right? Zeke had to go ahead and save him. Zeke obviously got saved because of Peak. Bertold was left there. Reiner goes back to Marley as kind of this, I guess, hero only because he survived the island, but he's not really, being honored because of the incredible things that he did over in the island. At least not that I'm aware of. Yeah, he is second to War Chief, Zeke. That's really just because, who else?
Oh yeah, who else are they gonna pick?
So did Reiner really get that change that he was looking for?
I think he continually searches for the change, even towards even all the way to the end of the series.
Yeah. Because we know that we talked about a couple weeks ago about that motivation, right? To go ahead and to have his mom be proud of him. And he gets that over at the end. He gets that embrace from his mother as they hug and she tells him that I'm so proud of you. And obviously we're going to go ahead and eventually get to that point when we discuss it and we'll get that line. But he gets that. But does Reiner get this? Does he get that change that he needs?
Being the hero?
I don't know. Again, maybe it's something we can go ahead and kind of discuss later on over down the line as we continue to go ahead and learn about Reiner's journey. But again, this is something that he's obviously adamant about, is that before he dies, he needs to change something.
And then we have Annie, who's just...
Yep.
Huh?
And Annie, I guess she's still been out ever since freaking Reiner choked her out.
I know. She's got to be. They were just like, oh, well, she's not. Just go on with the mission. We don't need her. Just go on with the mission.
Yeah. Real quick, Jacob says, I'm just going to say this. Marley is fucked up.
Yeah.
And he to the question about Reiner's getting that change.
Yeah.
Jacob says no.
He never does.
He never does. And it could be something that Lexi literally just mentioned, is that this is change that he is still searching for.
Yeah.
Again, he says before he dies. Guess what? This is a character that we never see die.
Yeah. So whatever change maybe we don't see the change that he ends up getting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like being a stable-minded human being with I don't know, relationships
maybe
with people.
With genuine friends.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and say that really Bertold is his friend, but are they really genuine friends or are they more so just allies?
Yeah, they're colleagues.
So
colleagues.
It's something where I guess maybe it's ongoing and he's still searching for. But yeah, Annie, she goes out there and she wakes up and she's inside the walls. Mm-hmm. Reiner did it, got the job done. Protected Annie in the process, and here they are over in this kind of, they're over with all the other refugees here over in this camp. Interesting that as Annie goes out there and kind of scans around the refugee camp, and, we see Aaron and Mikasa and Armin.
I know.
They're kind of across the
They're
room.
just in there, and it's like, that's literally the dude that you're searching for.
Yeah, literally.
That's literally him.
But then, interesting line again from Reiner as he goes out there and again brings his comrades in close. Right? He says he's sorry and he says, look, I'll be the warrior that I should have been. He pauses and he says, "For Marcel." Interesting.
Okay. So he meant it where he's like, I'll be Marcel. I'll do it.
Yeah.
But also in his mind, he's probably like, fresh start, new
I
island,
know.
fresh start.
Yeah.
And we see him being his soldier self, being a very good soldier. I'm here to save humanity.
Yep. And like Lexi said, perspective. What humanity?
I know.
Trying to save
Which
his
humanity?
humanity.
Oxface. Which one?
Exactly.
I'm glad we got to see the nickname that Sadis has for him.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and now focus on the next part that we have here to discuss. This will be, again, the last part that we have discussed over in this this episode. But again, a character that a lot of people enjoy comes back over in this this part of the episode. So, whenever Lexi's ready.
Okay. We continue the story as we can subliminally see a body hanging. A rugged man then explains as it appears that there are people gathered around a campfire.
My village was in the southeast mountains of Wilmaria. For us, it happened at dawn. The animals were all making a racket. On top of that, I heard a strange rumbling. I realized it was footsteps and opened the window to look.
We notice Bertold around this campfire, listening intently.
What happened next is a blur. But I got away on my horse. Alone.
We notice Reiner around the fire listening as well.
Leaving behind 3 kids. Right about your age.
And Annie is off to the side, listening from afar. The next scene appears to be from the underground, as a man who looks eerily similar to Kenny the Ripper can be seen walking away, following from afar is a young blonde girl hidden in a disguise. The young blonde girl appears to be Annie, wearing glasses and pigtails under a hat. As Annie turns the corner, she's startled by what she sees. There's no one there. And then a hand reaches and grabs Annie's shoulder. She looks up to notice Kenny's wide, Joker-like grin. Kenny tells Annie,
Hello there.
That was like Joker.
I know.
Hello there, Missy.
I gotta find that southern twang again.
I know. It'll come the more that
You must be a girl of refined taste to take such interest in this old geezer.
Yeah, it just comes out when you start. When you hear Kenny's dialogue, it just comes out. Annie immediately explains, I was born at the inn my mom worked at. She only met my father once, but she described him to me in detail so that I'd know you when I saw you. And Kenny responds,
Well, ain't that a touching story? If you want to give your daddy a hug, then put your hands up.
Annie asks, how can you be so sure that it isn't true? And Kenny answers,
I made a promise to my sister, so this tale of yours is a joke, and a shit one at that.
Annie tells Kenny, you're so mean, Daddy. That was so bad. Annie attempts to kick Kenny, but Kenny dodges in time, noticing her foot kicking a chunk of stone off a building. Annie quickly takes off running, and Kenny places his hat back on his head.
Well, damn. Seems you've hit your rebellious phase. Come back!
Kenny the Ripper chases after Annie in the underground, and the scene changes again to Marco's voice saying,
Huh? That's a new one. His legs are saying it'll snow today, right?
Thomas jokingly responds.
Yeah, but his torso's saying clear skies.
The crew in their sleeping quarters examine Bertold's strange sleeping positions, and Reiner interrupts the examination.
Call it hail and move. Sorry.
Yeah.
Call it hail and get moving or you'll be late for inspection. Bertold, wake up.
The scene changes to the dark of night outside near the forest as Annie scolds her comrades. While you two slept like babies after playing with your friends, I was crawling around the capital sewers. But I hit my limit and almost got caught. Reiner questions.
Your limit? Huh?
Annie continues. Let's cut our losses and take what we know back to Marley at this. Okay, let me try that again. Annie continues. Let's cut our losses and take what we know back to Marley. At this point, I bet they'll be happy to hear anything. Reiner responds.
No. After 5 years, they'll be expecting a lot more than a few scraps of information.
Annie has had enough. All right, asshole. Do you have a plan? And Reiner answers.
Yeah. We breach Wall Rose. It's the best chance we have of smoking out the Founding Titan.
Annie points out. It also means killing a lot of your friends. And Reiner explains.
I keep telling you, Annie. The cadets aren't our friends. They're devils. But it can't hurt to gain their trust. So I wish you'd act a little less standoffish. Let them think you're one.
Annie interrupts. I'm gonna puke. Could you please move your face away from mine? Reiner sighs.
You're exhausted. I'm sorry for laying so many burdens on you, Annie. Let's call it a night.
And Reiner walks away, and Annie begins to walk away too. However, Bertold can be seen struggling with his thoughts.
I keep having this dream.
Reiner and Annie both stop.
Where I see that guy from the mountains who hung himself. He must have been planning to do it. So why did he tell us his story first?
To be continued.
Interesting. So the episode begins essentially with what it closes off with understanding who that subliminal body that we saw hanging, who it was. It was that same person at the start of this point of the episode that was explaining how the Titans went ahead and got to his home. We don't know much about this man other than, again, he is an older man, very rugged and very tired and worn. Explains about his encounter with the Titans and how he escaped. Obviously a very traumatic time because he left, as he said, 3 kids. And he, I use air quotes, survived. But in reality, it seems like whoever the hell this guy was, his spirit died there at his home. So he ended up committing suicide. And we come to find out that this is a story that Bertold and Reiner use.
Yes.
As they explain about their encounter with the Titans to blend in with the other cadets.
And I mean, I guess, the guy died. Might as well just take a story.
Yeah.
He's not going to say that you stole it.
Exactly. But again, this just goes to show kind of the how impactful everything is and how it's happening. And also to understand again and not forget that the reason why these series of events are happening is because of Bertold's breach, because of Reiner breaching that inner wall and allowing all the Titans in. It's because of really their actions that they go ahead and encounter these island devils and they're kind of dealing with the ramifications of the Titans being able to go ahead and breach certain places, certain homes, certain areas. The last part here, as Bertold talks about this dream that he has, it's kind of interesting. And is this Bertold feeling remorse? Is this Bertold just being curious
Emotions
about
at high?
Is this
understanding the devils?
Is this Bertold just being genuinely curious about suicide?
Perhaps.
Do they? I would imagine that maybe they don't necessarily do that over in Marley.
I mean, I'm sure there is, but I mean, there's more murder than suicide, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But What's interesting is that I actually would love to touch on Bertold's sleeping positions.
Yeah.
And of course, it's very funny. And, you know, his legs say snow, but his upper body says clear skies. What's interesting is that the position he's in is actually the same position as a tarot card called the Hanged Man. And that's what he's dreaming about. He's dreaming about the Hanged Man. And what's interesting is that the meaning of this tarot card basically means actually I'll let Warriors Lovebot on Twitter explain it. This is where I'm getting a lot of my info here. The definition of the tarot card fits Bertold so well. So the meaning of the tarot card is the Hanged Man is the card of ultimate surrender, of being suspended in time, and of a martyrdom and sacrifice to the greater good. So this is Bertold's surrender to, this is what Warriors Lovebot says, Bertold's surrender to his fate in this cruel world, his eternal suffering in paths, and now his selflessness in helping his killers in order to save the world that never loved or appreciated him.
Wow.
So that's insane. There's also a bunch of comments saying like Isayama would have never done this by accident. Like Isayama is amazing that he was able to be like, number one, I'll show it to you. The tarot card, that's what it looks like.
Yep. That's
compared
Bertold's
to his sleeping position, the exact same. The tarot card itself is called the Hanged Man. And Bertold is, well, Warriors Lovebot says, this is heavily linked to the tarot card because his sleeping position and his compassion for the man who hanged himself from a tree out of guilt. Very, very good. I definitely wanted to touch on that. That's one of my favorite fun little facts in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that was good. Thank
Literally
you for that.
dreaming about the Hanged Man, and he's doing the Hanged Man tarot card pose. And the meaning of the Hanged Man is that you're fighting for pretty much a cause that isn't for your own, basically. So that's why, you know, Bertold's been fighting so hard for this cause of a world that never even appreciated him to begin with. So Isayama, you're amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
For
It's
Isayama.
Crazy the layers that really go into certain details.
Like an onion.
You know? Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Bertold, we described him really early on in our podcast, you know, as we went into season 1 and everything and got to go ahead and kind of break down and describe these characters. We described Bertold as like quiet, introverted, right?
Yes. Because whenever we think about Bertold, we just think about his association to Reiner. We're like, okay, so how would you describe Bertold? A loyal friend to Reiner.
Yeah. I mean, Jacob even says here in chat, like, I feel like I hardly know Birdie. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, and Bertold, again, yeah, he's a character where really, you know, we see some character development that happens, it takes place, and then before we know it, character's gone. So,
Seriously.
but Bertold here, yeah, I mean, he is, it's crazy that he is, you know, kind of feeling that empathy for that rugged man in the mountain. You know, it's
Yeah.
dreaming about him.
Is it empathy? Is it curiosity? Is it just, that's one of the first times he's been heavily exposed to someone that he literally just talked to killing themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
Or unaliving themselves? You can't say that on YouTube. Sorry.
But yeah, so he asks about like the plan and that this man must have been planning to do it. And the question he asks his comrades is, why did he tell us his story first?
Well, Bertie, you need to understand, a lot of the time, suicide is, I mean, sewer slide is very impulsive, usually. But, I mean, I guess I should be glad, maybe in a way, that Bertold has never been in that headspace to fully understand suicide, which is interesting considering where he comes from. Marley literally, like, beating him down. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe they beat them down so much that they appreciate life to the point where they're like, why would I ever want to kill myself? I've been working so hard to live.
Yeah, I mean, it could be
that
too
could be
also
why.
difference of mindsets when it comes to what they endured over at their home in Marley, and coming here and realizing that maybe things are just so simple and so easy. It's like, why would anybody want to just do that, you know?
Yeah.
And again, not really empathizing with the devils and nor, I mean, I understand they would never do that to begin with, and really kind of, you know, empathize with them. But kind of interesting that, you know, we get that kind of that insight from Bertold.
Yeah.
But you know, Jacob says here that Jacob believes that Bertold had wasted potential.
Yeah, I mean, we've totally talked about that before too, because right before Bertold actually gets eaten in season 3, when they eventually defeat him and they, you know, take before that big old fight and Armin takes the Colossal, we see Bertold really coming into his own and becoming his own person and making his own decisions and going by the lead, because we know that Bertold is always more of a follower, more of just a very loyal comrade than a leader, which isn't necessarily bad, but that's just who he is. And then when it comes to a point where now he is forced to be a leader, he is forced to have that character development, we see it for like 5 minutes and then that's it. So I'm right there with you, Jacob. We've totally discussed before. We're like, dang, where was this Bertold before? Like, this is some serious character development that he's really coming into his own, and then his power gets taken by the mop top.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have this weird Annie.
So we come to
interesting
find
Annie
out
moment.
Annie is snooping around. She's out there over in the underground. She is trying to
She's got her pigtails.
Information. She got her disguise. She tells her friends, while you slept like babies and playing with your friends, she was over crawling around the Capitol sewers, but she almost got caught. She almost got caught by the Kenny the Ripper.
That is a rough person to run into.
Annie was not a Titan warrior. I do not even want to think about the things that Kenny the Ripper would do. He kind of very slimy and very scummy and very pedophile-y.
Yeah,
kind of insinuated certain things here. But I mean, he's Kenny the Ripper. You don't want to fucking cross that guy.
Yeah, that dude's morality is only towards money. Whatever makes him money.
So you know, Annie goes out there and explains this kind of fake story over to Kenny. Kenny, of course, sees right through it because of the promise he made his sister. And then, again, if it wasn't for Annie being Annie, you know, it could have ended pretty badly for this young girl over in the underground. But you can say the same thing about Kenny. That, hey, Kenny encountered the female Titan and he survived. Now, he's lucky he didn't get his hands on Annie. Because then guess what? The legend that is Kenny the Ripper, well, that legend would have been done for. And then Levi would have had to find out somehow in the underground that Titan ripped apart freaking Kenny the Ripper. And then who knows how that would have changed Levi's story.
I know. True.
Jacob goes, he's a Diddy, bro. What? I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and put the allegations over on Kenny the Ripper, but let's just say Kenny the Ripper is not the most, you know.
I've heard a couple of rumors about good old Kenny.
Yeah. Again, just how he talks to Annie, I guess. And
allegedly a bad man.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a fact.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
But allegedly worse.
But we know it involves murders. We don't know about the other thing.
Yeah. Allegedly.
So
you just got to keep saying allegedly. No one can say anything.
Exactly. But again, Annie's just survives. But it seems like Annie's kind of just done with the whole just mission and trying to hide and just trying to gather information. And she's just like, you know what?
She's over it. She's so over it.
This has just been exhausting for her.
It's probably boring too, because they're probably doing all these trainings and stuff. And she's like, in so much better combat shape. Like whenever they're doing combat training, you know that she's like, oh my God, this is so boring. Like all these people suck at this. And
it's like they said too, for certain trainings, right? It's the ones that just don't take it serious and don't do them, or the ones that are kind of like, they're the ones that know better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. From what we've seen back in season 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down this.
Well, let us know what you
on
find
TikTok and YouTube after this on Kenny. All right.
Hopefully you don't find anything too incriminating other than him just being a murderer.
Yeah.
But
I want to get a full list of all of his crimes that he has committed.
Exactly.
I want to see all misdemeanors, felonies, fines, all of that.
Exactly. We obviously know that he got pardoned.
We'll rank them.
he got pardoned, no doubt, from what's his buddy's name again? Udi?
Yeah, from Udi.
Yeah. Big time
I wish that we had seen a little bit more of Udi, but
yeah,
whatever.
He expired.
Literally.
Yeah.
He expired.
But
no, people expire.
Yeah, well,
like
he
that
expired though.
That super popular meme that goes around where it's like, do cigarettes expire? And Google goes, well, cigarettes do not expire. The people who smoke them do. Like, oh, okay, Google.
But
Some of your guys' Google just went off by me saying, okay, Google. Sorry.
But I was gonna say though that dude, Udi was just like essentially like he was like a banana that was just out for too long, and he
he just started crumbling up and it started getting greasy and it's just
yeah, that dude looked like he was just worn out and stuff, and that's what that founding titan does to you.
And the Tokyo Drift with Levi, right?
But yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk again about Annie's desire to go back home. Right, she's done with it. She says, "Let's cut our losses and just take the information that we know
and she's
back
totally
to Marley." She was at this point, I think they'll just be happy with anything. But Reiner's got a good point here. I mean, as far as the time that elapsed here, Reiner says 5 years. Now, I think after 5 years, they're going to expect more than just some scraps of information.
Yeah, just being like, well, we have some info there. That's about it.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be the same thing Reiner told his family. It's a girl who eats a potato, but she totally gave him less than half.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for that info. I don't know. Get back in there and fix it.
They're like, great. What do we do with this?
No. Cool. I guess we could lure her out with a potato.
Yeah. But then, Annie essentially, she's just done. She's fed up with this. She's like calling Reiner names. She's like, look, do you have a plan or not?
Yeah.
And he does.
Of course he does.
We breach Walrose and we try to go and smoke out the founding titan.
He does.
Well, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, because, he's kind of sitting right across from you in your quarters. But, yeah. But there definitely is smoke in Walrose eventually.
Yeah.
In season 1.
Definitely.
Or season 2. So, yeah.
But then Annie again points out the fact that, Reiner is doing such a good job of just being a great soldier and being an ally to these devils. And, Annie says, that means whatever plan you have involves killing your friends.
Yep.
And then, Reiner has to tell her, look, they're not my friends. I'm telling you, hey. But it doesn't hurt to gain their trust.
You just gotta gain their trust.
Okay. I just wish that you would stop acting just a little standoffish.
I'm being fake, I swear. Look, I don't really like her.
Just go ahead and just be you, okay? I know you're a good person. Just,
Stop being so lame, dude. You're harshing my mellow.
And then all of a sudden Annie's like,
yeah. She's like, dude, back up.
Yeah.
None of you brush your teeth.
I know, seriously.
Jesus.
Reiner does get up close too. He gets down over on a knee. He gets close eye to eye with her. And
yeah, he gets.
Hey, it's okay. He goes, I'm telling you, Annie, the cadets aren't our friends. They're devils.
They're devils. She's like,
and he goes, it can't hurt to gain their trust.
It can't hurt.
So I wish you'd stop acting a little standoffish.
After she was like, I'm pooped, dude.
I know.
I'm so tired.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
my limit. He's like, you have a limit?
She's just like, oh, God.
Like, dude, back up. And he's like, all right, I'm not getting through to her. Just go somewhere.
It's kind of crazy that Kenny literally kind of like struck the fear into her to like, I want to go home.
Yeah, to be like, I don't like it here. These devils truly are devils. Well, yeah, I mean, of all people to meet, she met Kenny the Ripper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
going to be...
If she
That's gonna be good
essentially
taste.
was over in the Capitol gutters, that means that, you know, like Kenny's already up to his like little, I guess, corrupted thing
Yeah,
with the government, right?
He's been doing his thing. Yeah. He's
Oh yeah,
gotta
he
be.
has been doing it
He's
because
been doing his thing.
yeah, you're right, because of the story we saw with the whole Rice family and everything, and
Yeah.
how very close he is with that family.
And then with because they have advanced weaponry and everything, so
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
right.
whole nother thing.
You're right. So
Yeah, you could say it again.
craziness, yeah, craziness. But Reiner has a plan and just says blend in, and then while you know Reiner does his best job again to continue being a leader for his comrades, Bertold be having some strange dreams.
Yes.
Yeah,
You do.
craziness. And thank you again, Lex, for that crazy connection that you've found
Yes,
over
I
on-
love that little
on
fun
Twitter.
fact. I was so excited when it was coming up in this episode. Mm-hmm. And it's also pretty funny.
Yep, exactly. But that's all we got for you guys over in this episode. And we will go ahead and close out episode 3 of season 4 next week. Again, Zach will be back next week. You know, I'm going to hold Zach to his word. And it'll be nice to go ahead and get us all back together again. And hopefully you guys are able to go ahead and join us live on Twitch when we stream next week. Again, for people that are catching the episode as they get published, I know that we've been publishing them the same day as we usually stream live. But again, hey, don't be afraid to go ahead and join us. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, by the way, if you are listening.
Of course.
Now, past, later on.
Yeah. If you are listening now, and now means in the future,
Oh, I like our
over on
code.
whatever platform,
I like our code today.
go ahead and say hi to us live chat.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Anyways,
Would love to acknowledge you.
that's what we got for you guys in this episode. This is a season 4 of our episode breakdown discussion. Like Lexi mentioned, follow us over on Instagram at AttackOnTitan Podcast for the updates.
That's where we are most active.
I appreciate you guys with responding over to the Q&As. We got our loyal ones, and again, I'm going to go ahead and say again, do not be afraid to go ahead and just kind of vote over on the poll questions that we go ahead and we have. We're going to try to go ahead and continue to be consistent with the poll questions and the Q&As.
Yes.
Again, your feedback is just so appreciated and very much needed, because like I said, I enjoy the insight and the mindset to what you guys go ahead and say. And I even liked, again, I kind of gave Bobby a little bit more homework, I guess.
I know.
I was like,
Sorry,
okay, Bobby,
Bobby.
I like where you're going with this, but if
I
it was
need
different,
more.
if it was this way. No, I'm only kidding. Thank you, Bobby, for always giving us the feedback and everything. But so check out the platforms that are available over on the link tree in the bio on Instagram, all that good stuff. And shout out to Nate for helping us out over on the
Thank you,
podcast with everything that he
Nate.
does. Appreciate you, bro. And just thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you, Jacob. Jacob said, so happy I got to spend tonight with you both. It's always awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much,
you've
Jacob.
been with us for
And we'll see you next week.
continuously.
We will see you next week. But at this time, as we go ahead and get to a close, Lexi, do you want to go ahead and read what the code is?
Yes, our code today is code LOVE, because the world needs more these days.
Beautiful. Love
Thank you,
that.
Jacob.
The world definitely does. And Jacob, we feel the love that you go ahead and give us each and every week. And again, shout out to you, bro. We appreciate you just for continuously being here and joining us live every single week. And I hope you know that it literally means the world to us. And how we're able to go ahead and connect like this and really kind of talk to you and stuff, man, it's an incredible thing, and I'm just so grateful again to be able to go ahead and be here out over in California, right? To be, for you to be over there or your home and to just have us be able to just interact live like this. And, a lot of people take this kind of stuff for granted, but I want to say that I appreciate you so much. And like I said, while I would really love to get more of our friends joining us live, I'm just extremely grateful that you go ahead and take the time out of your weeks to just to go ahead and join us on Tuesdays.
Yep.
Or join us on Wednesdays. Or join us whatever. It doesn't matter what day we have it. You're there. And just shout out to you, man. And yeah, we love you, man. Thank you.
Enjoy your guys' Friday the 13th this Friday.
Ooh, tattoos. I'm kidding. Don't do it. But yeah, guys, again, like Jacob said, it's all about love. We love love. We hate hate. Love you guys so much. Spread the love and positivity. We will see you guys next week. Again, Zach will be back here with us next week, and we can go ahead and let Zach know that we missed him very much. Again, Zach is recovering, and he is almost at full strength. So, this is AJ signing off. Saying, see you guys next week. Appreciate you guys.
Bye. Much love to you all.